Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. All right, guys, on this episode of the Bullet Points on this Monday, I am going to start your day off right, and I am going to show you a crumbling gun control desires and dreams written by far-left Vice News themselves. The left is starting to realize that the big crowning achievement of the Biden administration, the ghost guns rule, using the ATF to really curtail the ghost gun epidemic, it's falling flat on its face because, as we discussed on this channel, you can't regulate between 80%, 70%, 41% and just make it a firearm. And now the left is starting to realize that this is actually the true scenario that they are facing, and they are not happy about it. Now, everything is going to be linked in the description box below. I'm going to say a quick word from our sponsor, Acre Gold, and then I'm going to walk you through this, and I cannot wait to hear what you guys think of this because the tears are flowing once the realization lands. Now, today's sponsor is Acre Gold. And in today's economic environment, inflation is actively diminishing the value of our dollar and our savings. One way to fight inflation is investing in gold. Acre Gold has a program to make gold affordable in order to preserve your savings against future inflation. Check out the link below to find out more, and thank you so much to Acre Gold for making the video this week possible. So brothers and sisters, enough setup, enough anticipation. Let's dive in to how the gun control dreams are meeting the harsh shores of reality in this article. As always, is linked, as I mentioned. Let's dive in. Now, a simple plastic tool is undermining new ghost gun rules. Shocker, I can't believe it. Check it out because American ingenuity, American patriotism is winning the day. You're gonna enjoy this. Just weeks after the Biden administration's new rules cracking down on ghost guns took effect, firearms enthusiasts are finding ways around them. Now, this came out today. Again, keep in mind, they are writing to a far-left audience. Vice News is no conservative outlet. They're starting to realize what we have known the whole time. Check this out. It's been less than a month since new federal rules took effect attempting to rein in the proliferation of so-called ghost guns, a catch-all term for unserialized home-built firearms that Democratic leaders, law enforcement officials, and gun control groups say are turning up in the hands of criminals across the United States. Now, you guys know as well as I do, the entire Biden administration's success against guns in their term when they couldn't do anything legislatively was all around ATF rulings and executive actions from ghost guns. Giffords.org, Everytown for USA, all the gun control groups, on-demand action, they were all extremely excited that ghost guns were going to be curtailed. Only problem is they're not. Check this out, and they're starting to realize it. But barely a few weeks into the new regulatory regime, the firearms industry has already adapted and scored an early legal victory. And gun enthusiasts have created and released open source blueprints for a simple plastic tool that offers a relatively quick, easy, and apparently legal workaround for anyone who still wants to build an untraceable weapon. Do you hear the disdain? Nothing has changed. The ATF's rule, even in court, they're undermining their own rules. We're going to get to that in a second. Check this out. This is amazing. The new rules say that when an unfinished frame or receiver is distributed or possessed with a compatible jig or template, it can be considered a firearm under the law because it makes completing the build process faster and easier. Here's the catch. The pistol frame that they're referring to as the ghost gun is not considered a firearm. That was the whole point of the executive action, but it didn't really work. It's only considered a firearm if you send a jig with it. So it's more focused on the ability to convert it, not the ability to have it. The gun controllers did not recognize this until this type of stuff is coming out. Again, from their sources. Check it out. As a result, some retailers have responded by selling only the pistol frame alone, while others are selling kits that include the necessary parts and tools, but no frame. Jigs are a common tool, and factory-made versions are available online, but prices have climbed over $100, making the 3D printed version an extremely low-cost alternative. So instead of being a one-stop shop where you had a pistol frame or an 80% frame and then you had a jig, they've now made into two separate industries, and you would have to get, according to Vice News, you would have to get a pistol blank or an 80% and a jig elsewhere. In this case, 3D printing because the cost basis is so much lower. All they did was create a cottage industry. Anyway, check this out. And that's not even the beginning of the problems because they're starting to hit on the legal issues. They're informing the left. Check this out. The ATF's new rule has also faced legal challenges. On September 2nd, a federal judge gave an early victory to a company called Tactical Machining, we covered it on this channel, which manufactures frames for AR-style rifles and says they can be forced out of business because of the changes. The lawsuit, Vanderstock v. Garland, claims the ATF did not follow the proper rulemaking process. While implementation has been allowed to proceed nationally with the ghost gun rule, Tactical Machining won a ruling that says they are likely to eventually prevail and that a weapon parts kit is not a firearm. Not only in the pending time of the litigation, the Vice is telling the leftist readers that read their article or their outlet that, and while the litigation is going on, they just created two different cottage industries. Nothing changed because everything was still perfectly legal. Everything is following the Constitution. Everything that you're trying to infringe upon is failing and standing up against your most ardent desires of gun control. And that's what I've got for you guys. Hopefully it was uplifting for this Monday morning, and I will see you at the interview tonight with the NSSF spokesperson.